Okay, so before we get started, I should say that this video is definitely not sponsored. However, if Murray would like to send me an engraved Blair Digital Chanter so that I could give this plain chanter away, I would be more than happy to receive that. But no pressure, Murray. So now the Blair Digital Chanter, a few people have messaged asking for my settings for this thing, and I'll speak about what I've got on the chanter and all that, and we'll get to the sensors. But I mean, it's a brilliant bit of kit, and it does take a wee bit of tweaking sensor wise to get it going. I'm sure if you've been watching a lot of videos that I've been putting up since I think the summer last year, I mean the chanter works quite well, but it has taken me a few wee goes at all the sensors to get it just right. So first of all, we'll just chat about what sounds I have on the chanter itself. So obviously the Great Highland bagpipe. I also have the E major bagpipe, quite like that. Don't play very often, but it sounds nice. The St Lawrence O'Toole practice chanter sound, again not used very often, but it's St Lawrence O'Toole, so you can't go wrong. The G1 Do bagpipe, now I love this, and again you can't really do much with it, I think. I mean, I've only just been playing tunes in B minor with it. I'm sure you can play tunes other keys, I mean, yeah, but I mean, it sounds great. The tuning wise, I'm not too sure what's going on. I think it's currently tuned to Gordon Duncan's Thunderstruck pipes, and yeah, I'm quite enjoying that. But again, not used very often. Now, the D small pipes, quite possibly my favourite sound on the chanter actually of all the sounds that Murray offers. They just sound great. I think I was speaking to Roddy McDonald, and I'm sure he was saying that it's got a double bass drone or something like that for loads of depth in it. It sounds excellent, honestly. So the next one we've got the B flat practice chanter, the GT, just temperament I think is, and with the drones, it does have drones too, and that is one that I do use quite an awful lot, and that's because it's got your normal low G or G natural as your A, also your B flat, your normal B of course, your C natural, C sharp, your D, E, F natural, F sharp of course, high G natural, but it also has the high G sharp and the high A. It's got the most range out of all the chanters I've got, all the sounds that I have on the chanter. And then of course I've got the A major bagpipe, which I don't use very often, but good for the kind of Spanish gaita style playing, because of course you get the high G sharp as well as the natural. So, and then just the low G sharp, and then of course the built-in practice chanter and small pipes. Now the actual instruments, I've kind of tweaked them a wee bit to my liking. So my bass drone and tenor drone on the Highland pipe sound, they're much lower than I think they come kind of preset. So my bass drone's actually 8 and my tenor drone is at 7. When I'm using these kind of a cappella videos when I'm playing the chanter with itself, the drones get a bit kind of too much. They're a bit overpowering, I find. So pulling them down like that, everything balances out a wee bit better. So again, the treble's at nothing, that's fine. The bass is at nothing. It already sounds amazing. So you don't really have to do much to it. Again, I just think the drones are a bit overpowering with it, but easy fixed. So next up, the one that I would usually use a lot, D small pipes. Drone 1 is at 13 and drone 2 is at 11. Again, just a wee bit overpowering. Now, the only other thing with the D small pipes is that when I've been playing along with the fiddle, or just kind of accompanying myself with the piano, which I don't do too often, actually. So, I find that the D small pipes are actually a bit flat. So, I've actually got the pitch for those sitting at 445. Yeah, and that seems to sound not too bad. It sounds a wee bit better. It's just a wee bit on the flat side. Again, an easy fix. So, drone 1 now for the B flat practice chanter, the GT one, the just temperament. I think it's just temperament. So, drone 1 is 16 and drone 2 is 15. Again, treble and bass I've left because it sounds great, and pitch is usually at kind of 440. That's fine. A major bagpipe, I think that's, yeah, drone 1 is 7 and drone 2 is 6, and again that's all fine straight down the kind of normal settings that you get with the chanter. So the what we'll do next, reverb. We'll talk about the reverb next. So I do have it on at all times actually, but it's not very strong. I've got it on volume 5 and room size 20. I think everything else is just as is with the chanter, and it sounds great. It sounds a bit more I can't even think of a word to describe. It just sounds better. Obviously, if you're playing, if you've got the reverb bumped right up, you don't want to be playing fast stuff. Nicer to have like a pibroch, say, like you're playing at the Grand Hall at Blair Castle for your Glenfiddich, and a nice bit of reverb for that's fine, but not suitable for playing mad jigs and reels. So reverb's on, but not very high, because obviously I do an awful lot of fast playing. So the sensors now. Now, as Murray says, and I think I've already shared, it was my first community post on YouTube, and it was about the sensors. Now, as Murray would say, the sensors change for everyone. I remember when I got the Blair Chanter the first time round in, was it 2018, I think. I went on a trip to Germany with the Red Hot Chili Pipers, and I just got the Chanter out of the box, and it was fine. I was able to play it without having to do anything. And I went to Germany for this trip, and Willie Armstrong asked for a wee shot of the Chanter, because obviously very much intrigued by how good it sounds. So I gave him a shot, and he got his E going and all that, and he got to his low E playing a wee tuning phrase, and he tried to play a tune, and it would not work at all. And he thought he was going mad. Dougie McCann's, I think, Dougie was nearly crying with laughter. Poor Willie. But it turns out that obviously you do have to tweak the sensors, and when it did tweak the sensors afterwards, it did kind of react much better to my playing. And I mean, and again with the sensors, when you play your low E and you go to low G, for example, you want it to work as the finger kind of hits, but I have my low G set up so that just as the pinky just starts to cover the hole, it makes the sound, and I think it plays the barrels a wee bit better. I found, and again, it will totally change for you, but sensors anyway. My high A is set to -12, my high G is set to -11, my F is set to -2, my E is set to -1, the D is set to -2, the C is set to +9, the B is set to +10, and the low A is set to -2. So a bit inconsistent on the sensors front for my playing. There, obviously you can try these, see how you get on with them. But again, quite likely that it. Well, maybe not quite likely. It just depends on how fast you like to play your tunes. But you will have to set up these individual notes for yourself. And of course, just go through it all. And again, I'll link Murray's video down below. There's no one that'll explain it better than him. But I've had so many people asking for my sensor settings, so and my general setup of the channel. And when I'm playing it and when I'm making these kind of short videos, I'm just plugging it into this wee speaker here and sticking it underneath the phone, and it's fine. I've not got an audio interface yet, or anything else like that. So it does the trick. It does the trick for me. Now, if you're stuck with your Blair, just message Murray. Honestly, I remember Murray will definitely remember. I'm sure when they first came out, people were panicking. That the panic was real, and people were, I think, they were buying them and then just selling them. They were trying to get rid of them right away because they weren't enjoying it. And it was, I think, just because they hadn't got the sensors right. And that's all it is. Once you've got the sensors right with this thing, it's just amazing. Obviously, there are other electric chanters out there, but none of them come close to this. Again, not sponsored. This video is not sponsored. And I just think it's a brilliant bit of kit. And I play it every day. I'm playing it every day. I use it to teach as well. Works quite well for playing along with pupils. And I obviously use it to put videos on YouTube here now for my pupils to play along with. It's brilliant. And speaking of pupils, I do have spaces available if you're interested in some lessons for pipes and whistle. I'll link that below. But yeah, that's basically that. That's your Blair Chanter. I'll link some other things below as well for where to pick it up. G1, a lot of my pupils are picking it up at Jock Elliott. He's always got them in stock. And I'll link Murray's website below as well, of course. And where you got all these downloads and all the extra chanter sounds. It's brilliant. I can't recommend it enough. And yeah, let me know if you're playing an electric chanter. Let us know which one you're playing and how you got on with it. I've played Deggers. I've played is it the Fager Storm or something like that. I've played an awful lot of electric chanters, and they're good. They're all fine. But this is just something else. Expensive, yes, but worth every penny. So with that, if you've enjoyed this and you've picked up something, please do like this video and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll no doubt speak soon. Cheers.